All right, welcome back. You know, many people are sitting out there. My phone's blowing up. People are texting me, JT, it's over. This is crazy. They stole it. How did this happen? All this other stuff. Everybody, namaste for a minute, okay? I'll take you back to, you know, some 20-odd years ago. And for those of you who are a little younger watching the show, George W. Bush and Al Gore came down to a very hotly contested, where there was a election where there was a lot of fraud and a lot of schemery going on inside the counting booths with the hanging chads and everything else. And lo and behold, 37 days later, it went to the Supreme Court, and George Bush was crowned president, and he won. So these early reports mean something. They don't mean everything. There's affidavit ballots, there's military ballots, which skew 80-20 Trump. A lot of ballots are going to get thrown out in Pennsylvania, in my view. Anything that came in after Election Day, overturning the will of the legislators in Pennsylvania. So stay tough, okay? George W. Bush won, okay? The guy joining me right now, Michael Johns, knows a little bit about the Bushes. He was policy analyst and former speechwriter for President George H.W. Bush, one of the co-founders of the Tea Party movement. And Mike, I'm not the savvy politico like you. I like to commentate on this stuff, but I am damn good at math, I'll say that. And the numbers are just not adding up for me. Trump won monumental margins and percent gains with African Americans and Latin Americans, and all of a sudden, he's still losing. Doesn't make sense. The numbers ain't adding up for me. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I think one of the burdens of political leadership is always kind of trying to, which I really, it's responsible, I've always taken very seriously, is to communicate the right message in the right ways. Not always, and sometimes those aren't politically convenient messages. You know, the system always comes first and foremost. My message at this moment is this election is not over. Donald Trump absolutely has the possibility of being reelected president. The pathway to 270 is there. There is, as there has been throughout this entire campaign, such an incredible degree of media bias to want to bury this man, and it exists now too. I mean, I can't do any mainstream media question without getting into the hypotheticals of, yeah, but what if, you know, they just want to hear that Trump will lose. It's amazing to me. And you mentioned you're good at math. Just doing my back of the envelope math, 214 electoral college votes are undeniably in the president's corner right now. If you had Georgia at 16, North Carolina at 15, Pennsylvania with 20, and Arizona at 11, that sort of gets you there to 270.
230, that gets you way over.
Yeah. So
245, 265, that gets you to 276.
Now, what are the bases for winning those four states? Number one, he's winning very narrowly in Georgia, but 99% of the vote is in. There's not much left to be counted, and there are ballot discrepancies. A lawsuit that I think has been filed or will be filed there. In North Carolina, he's up. I think, honestly, I'm trying not to speculate here, but it's very difficult to envision him not winning North Carolina on a straight up basis, even without any legal intervention or recount demands. Arizona, which, I kind of share the outrage that a lot of Americans had at what appears to be an unbelievable premature calling of Arizona on Tuesday night for Biden. I mean, there were at that time 500,000 outstanding votes. And there's still 450,000, I believe, outstanding with the president only down by 65,000 in what is undeniably a fairly conservative and Republican state, even if it's not as much as it used to be.
Yeah, so Mike, just a quick update on that. Right now, they got them down like 3,000 in Pennsylvania. I think there's 9,900 military ballots out there that can get opened. They can come in up to 10 days after the election. or until the November 13th. Those are going to skew 80-20 to Trump, I would imagine. She said they have thousands of affidavit ballots. I think Pennsylvania is going to be a win. I think that state, if other states aren't fraudulently called, giving him a 270 number, then I think that state, everything after November 4th will come November 3rd will come off the board. I think he's going to win Pennsylvania. When I look at Georgia, it's just too convenient for me. And the same thing in Pennsylvania, Mike. I'm not from Missouri, but I'm from the show me state in life. Us New Yorkers kind of have a good sense of this stuff. Any businessman, you're looking at this huge task. Okay, we got to count the votes for the whole state of Pennsylvania. What's our plan, guys? Me, as a chief executive, I'll say, okay, what's the biggest county? All right, Philly. All right, let's tackle that sucker first, and then we'll see where we stand, and then we'll go get all the suburbs and everything, right? It's just way too convenient for me that the last two states, or a couple of the last two states, are coming down to the bluest cities where the whole apparatus is controlled by progressive mayors, and they're trickling us this information. Why are they counting the biggest cities last? You would think that would, if you were polling and if you were trying to make a call, you'd go to the biggest ones first. Both cities, to me, I think we got a scheme going, which I've seen in other places. Every Trump comes in, two come in the back door for Biden. That's what I'm seeing.
The issue here is, and this is like the cynical view of how voter fraud operates. You typically do it precisely that way because you want to see what the vote count is. And already today, I've seen reports that Philadelphia officials are feeding the Biden campaign numbers prematurely. The issues in Philadelphia are extraordinary. I'm not even sure what the remedy is. Let's just start with the fact that the poll watchers that are legally obligated to have access were denied access. Have to go to court, get an order issued in Philadelphia yesterday morning at 9:30, show up at these locations at the Pennsylvania Convention Center where most of this counting is happening with the actual order, and they're still not permitting Trump poll watchers access to it with order in hand. They said they were having their attorneys review it. Now, what do you do in a case of a day, literally, of unmonitored ballot counting in the largest city in the state that has a history of voter fraud that apparently the media just doesn't want to acknowledge? I mean, I think there's literally a congressman in jail. I mean, I've worked in Philadelphia politics. It's a very institutionally machine-driven Democrat Party known for doing just about anything and everything to get the votes that they need. How do you remedy that situation? Because a lot of these issues, and this is what I would caution people about, you don't help the cause by speculating about voter fraud or having half the story. It's got to be complete, it's got to be verifiable, or we undermine the credibility that I think is a legitimate case here for President Trump. And believe me, if I looked at this and I didn't see the roadmap there, and I didn't see the anecdotal cases that I think validate the president's concerns, I would be on here today saying that we had a great president for 4 years. He should wish Biden well and stay active in public life and move on. I am not saying that right now.
Yeah, and I'm with you, meaning, look, I grew up on sports fields. I've been a football coach, a baseball coach. I would be scolding the kids on my team if they were thinking, oh man, let's go shake hands with the other team while there's still time left on the clock. So to me, the media is already pushing us in a direction, or at least the populace, to saying, Trump should just give up now. And they haven't even finished counting yet, Mike. Nonetheless, certifying the elections, which are weeks from now.
Look, we just had a criminal referral in Nevada for over 3,000 votes that apparently, and this is what I've been cautioning about for months. I feel kind of alone on it, but I've been saying when you mail these ballots out to individuals at what they have registered as their last location, there's a very good possibility that a significant portion of those individuals are either deceased or have relocated. And sure enough, that appears to be that's what the criminal referral in Nevada is. And the problem is getting this information is not easy. This is an unbelievably taxing, tedious undertaking. But here are over 3,000 validated cases of individuals who voted in Nevada elections, who voted, in Clark County, who were not residents of Clark County at that time.
All right, Mike, we got to end it here. Why don't you hang with us? We'll take a quick commercial break. Let's do another segment and get a little deeper into this, because I want our audience to hear your observations on this, all right? Can you hang with us for a few more?
Sure thing.
Okay. Quick break. Stick right with us. We'll be back right after this.